A thunderous rumble tears across the savanna. Wildebeest stampede, hooves pounding like war drums, sending dust spiraling into the sky. Lions scatter, mothers roar, cubs vanish into the chaos. One cub doesn't make it. Tossed by the stampede's current, he crashes into a thicket, landing hard. For a moment, silence. Then a faint whimper. He rises, dazed, a thin trail of blood dripping from his brow. He calls out, high and sharp, but the wind swallows his cries. His pride is gone. Not far off, a figure adjusts a long lens. Jake, a young wildlife photographer, lowers his camera. He's been tracking lion movements for weeks, but this cry, this sharp, panicked bleat, cuts different. He freezes, scanning the horizon. The sun climbs higher, unforgiving. The cub limps along a narrow ravine, flinching at every buzz, every chirp. With no direction, he moves toward the only shade he sees, a wall of thick forest at the edge of the savanna. He's too young to know it, but he's leaving lion land behind. He's entering gorilla country. Trees close in. The ground softens with moss. Bird calls shift to low hoots and heavy silence. The cub stumbles beneath giant ferns, each step heavier than the last. His tail drags. He mews again, weakly, desperate for an answer. He gets one. High in the jungle canopy, a troop of colobus monkeys shrieks in alarm, scattering. Something large stirs in the shadows below. A silverback gorilla awakens, massive, still, watching. His name is unknown. He's old for a fighter, but still feared. Scars cross his chest. His breath is slow, measured. His troop left this grove days ago, yet he remained. Why, no one knows. Perhaps memory, perhaps grief. From a ridge above, Jake hears the monkeys scream. He lifts his lens again, aiming toward the shifting canopy. Movement. He leans forward, unsure if he's about to capture predator or prey. Now the gorilla's heavy eyes open and fix on the source of the cries. The cub collapses beneath a fig tree, exhausted, sides heaving. His thin ribs rise and fall like fluttering wings. His fur is slicked with sweat and dust. Insects bite at his ears, but he doesn't stir. The gorilla rises. Branches snap under his weight. He moves closer, slow, deliberate, silent. Vines twist around his shoulders. His fists drag across the dirt. Then he stops. He sees the cub, curled like a question mark at the base of the tree. Not prey, not threat, just alone. A sound escapes the gorilla's throat, low, rumbling, almost curious. The cub lifts his head. Two worlds meet. The silverback steps forward once more. A single branch snaps beneath his foot. The sound cracks through the air, like thunder. The cub bolts. He crashes blindly through the jungle floor, tripping over roots, yelping. Behind him, silence. No pursuit, no roar, nothing. But the silverback watches. His brow furrows. His breath hitches. His hand touches the dirt where the cub lay. The scent lingers. Behind him, far off in the forest, something else stirs. A chuckle, a growl, paw steps, soft, many, watching, waiting. The jungle isn't empty, and the cub isn't alone anymore. Far above, hidden behind a curtain of vines, Jake lowers his lens slowly. He doesn't know what he just saw, but he knows the jungle's changed. Dusk stretches long across the jungle floor. Shadows lengthen. The wind stills. In the underbrush, something slinks. Hyenas. 5 of them, lean and sun-scorched, slip from the rocks like oil. They move low, snouts twitching, ears cocked. They've caught the cub's scent, and they're hungry. The cub stirs, alone again beneath the fig tree. His ears flick. He lifts his head. The air feels wrong. He rises, trembling, eyes darting. The first snarl comes from behind. He whirls, backing into a trunk. Bark scrapes his spine. His tail curls tight beneath him. The pack fans out in silence. No laughter yet. Just hunger. High on a ridge, Jake drops to a crouch. His breath catches. Through his lens, he sees the cub, tiny, shaking, and the predators encircling him. No, 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 he whispers. He raises his camera, but his hands won't stop shaking. He lowers it, heart pounding, one wrong step, and he could draw the pack to him. He's paralyzed. Below, the cub bares his teeth, more plea than threat. The lead hyena steps forward, drool threading from its jaws. Then a crack, a deep, wet snap of branches. The ground shakes. A roar, not feline, not even close. From the jungle's edge, the silverback gorilla bursts into view, chest heaving, eyes burning. He storms into the clearing, fists pounding the dirt. The air quakes with each beat. The hyenas freeze, startled, then snarl. They circle wider. The gorilla doesn't wait. He charges. The first hyena yelps, leaping back. The others follow, but not far. They regroup behind a log, watching, calculating. This is no ordinary meal. This is war. The cub darts behind a tangle of roots, eyes wide. The gorilla plants himself between the pack and the cub, fists clenched. His breath saws in and out. Blood from old scars beads anew along his arms. Jake watches, stunned. He clicks record, but forgets he's holding the camera. "What are you doing?" he mutters to himself. "Get out, move, run." But he can't. He's frozen by awe. The lead hyena lunges. The gorilla swings. A dull crack. The hyena crashes into a bush, whining. The others snarl and lunge together. A storm of fur, claws, and teeth erupts in the clearing. The gorilla roars, shoving two hyenas back. One clamps onto his arm. Another snaps at his side. The cub cowers. Jake grips a branch to stay quiet, every instinct screaming to help. But how? One noise, and he risks tipping the balance. Below, the gorilla hurls a hyena into a tree with a sickening thud. He stumbles, blood streaming from his leg. Another hyena bites down on his shoulder. He grunts, grabs it, flings it to the dirt. Panting, heaving, he roars again. And this time it works. The hyenas retreat, slowly, snarling, bloodied. They vanish into the dark. Silence drops like a curtain. The gorilla sways, turns toward the cub. He takes a step, then another, then collapses. The earth shudders. He lands hard, chest heaving. Blood mats his fur. He doesn't move. From the roots, the cubic inches forward, his tiny body pressed low, cautious, trembling. He sniffs, licks the gorilla's arm, waits. Jake exhales shakily. His entire body is trembling. He's not just witnessing a fight. He's witnessing a miracle. He presses a stop on the camera, then looks down. Hands red, not from blood, from gripping the bark so tight. The air hangs thick, moist, metallic, charged. The cub doesn't move. He presses himself to the gorilla's side, as if sheer closeness might undo what's been done. But the silverback lies still. Only his chest moves, slow, shallow, shuddering. Then a hyena's cackle splits the air. They're back. Eyes glint from the shadows, snarls roll low in their throats. They'd fled before, but only barely. Now, drawn by blood and fading strength, they return. The cub stiffens. His breath stutters. He presses lower to the dirt. In the trees above, Jake's eyes widen. No, please, not again. He checks his camera, rolling. His hand grips the tripod, but he doesn't lift it. He doesn't want to film this. The first hyena steps into the clearing. Its snout is wet, its lips curled. Behind it, three more fan out, slower now, cautious, but confident. The gorilla stirs, just barely. A groan rumbles from deep in his chest. He shifts, arm dragging. His eyes flutter open, then narrow. He sees them. One hyena charges. In a flash, the gorilla is up. Not fully, but enough. He plants one fist, then the other. Blood drips down his forearm. He pulls his body upright, chest rising like a mountain reborn. The cub whimpers, but doesn't run. He watches. The hyena leaps. The gorilla meets it midair, grabs its torso, and hurls it sideways. It crashes into a boulder with a yelp. Another lunges, bites down on the gorilla's leg. He roars, lifts his massive arm, and slams it down. Bones snap. Still more come. They swarm. He swings, catches one in the jaw. Another tears into his back. Jake watches, breath trapped in his throat. "I can't." He rises to a crouch, eyes flicking to the gorilla, to the cub, to the chaos. He could scream, throw a rock, do something, but he doesn't. He knows it would break the spell, disrupt the wild law playing out below. The gorilla staggers, blood paints the jungle floor. He punches wildly, knocking 2 hyenas off their feet. He roars again, deeper, longer. A sound of finality. The last hyena freezes, then retreats. One by one, they slink away, limping, snarling, defeated. The jungle quiets. The gorilla stands in the clearing, swaying. His face is slashed, his shoulder torn. He looks at the cub. Then he falls. This time he doesn't rise. The cub inches forward again, mewling softly. He noses the gorilla's side, then curls beside him, a tiny ball against the wounded giant. From above, Jake lowers his camera, eyes glassy. He wipes his face, but it's not sweat. It's disbelief. It's something more. He presses a hand to his chest, whispering into his recorder. He fought for him. He bled for him. He chose to protect something not his own. Below, the cub rests his head against the gorilla's arm. The jungle watches and waits. Morning breaks in soft shafts through the canopy. Mist clings to vines like breath held too long. The jungle is quiet. The cub wakes first. He hasn't left. He lies curled beside the gorilla's massive body, small frame tucked against a chest that still rises, barely. Blood crusts the silverback's shoulder. One eye is swollen shut, but he's alive. The cub nuzzles closer, then rises unsteadily. He licks at the gorilla's wounds, hesitant, gentle, his tongue cleaning dried blood. The silverback groans. A hand twitches, but he does not move. In the distance, birds call, but not in alarm. For now, there is peace. Jake returns at dawn. He's kept his distance, watching, waiting, hoping. He steps softly, avoiding every twig. In his hands, a wrapped bundle of fruit and leaves. He sets it on a flat stone just beyond the clearing. No camera this time, no lens, just him. Then he backs away, settles behind a curtain of brush, and waits. The cub is the first to sniff it. His nose twitches. He approaches the bundle cautiously. Jake holds his breath. The cub noses a fig, then grabs it in his teeth and trots back to the gorilla's side. He drops it beside the silverback's mouth. A pause. A sound, barely a grunt. The gorilla shifts, weakly, his massive hand brushing the fig. He eats, slowly. Jake exhales, overwhelmed. It's working. This bond, it isn't a fluke. Day fades into day. Each morning the cub forages, berries, leaves, even bugs. He brings what little he can. He stays close, resting beside the gorilla, licking wounds, swatting flies. And slowly the silverback regains strength. Then, movement. A ripple in the leaves above, a leopard. It perches silently in the trees, eyes locked on the cub. Coiled muscle, deadly patience. The cub senses it. He growls, high-pitched, trembling, but defiant. The silverback stirs, then rises. He stands slowly, body shaking, but upright. He scans the trees, sees it. The leopard locks eyes with him. The gorilla roars, not with rage but warning, authority, power, even in pain. The predator blinks, then disappears into the shadows. Jake gasps. He protected him, again. He grabs his notebook, scribbles fast. This isn't survival, it's something more. The cub turns to the gorilla, tail flicking, then presses his head into the giant's thigh. The silverback doesn't flinch. Above them, sunlight pierces the canopy. Dust floats like gold in the still air. Jake doesn't film. He doesn't move. He just watches, witness to something no lens could capture, something deeper than instinct, something like trust. The wind shifts. Late sun filters through the canopy in golden slants. The forest is still, but alert. Then a sound. Software subtle, a low chuff, a call. The cub's ears perk. He lifts his head, sniffs. Another sound, closer now. paws crunch through leaves, and then from the brush she appears. A lioness, eyes wide, chest heaving, her fur is dusted with dried mud, her nose to the ground. She's tracked every inch of terrain, every breath, every scent. The cub takes a step, then another. Behind him, the silverback rises, still bruised, still bleeding, but standing. The lioness sees him, stops. Her body tenses, muscles coiling. She lowers her head, not in submission, but in caution. The gorilla doesn't move. He plants himself between her and the cub, not to fight, to protect. One last time. Then, the cub lets out a single, soft cry. The lioness's ears twitch. She steps forward. He bolts to her, colliding into her chest. She nuzzles him, licks his head, sniffs him over and over. He purrs, safe. But then he turns back. One last time, he walks to the gorilla, presses his head into the silverback's arm. The gorilla lowers his eyes. No sound, no movement, just recognition. From the ridge, Jake watches, knees in the dirt, tears lining his jaw. He lifts the camera, then lowers it again. This isn't for the world. This is for them. The lioness waits. The cub joins her. She leads him into the trees. The silverback doesn't follow. He watches until the last flick of the cub's tail disappears into the light. Then he turns. Slowly, he walks into the forest alone. Jake steps into the clearing just once, kneels where the gorilla stood, touches the dirt still warm. He doesn't say a word. Later, he sits in his tent, staring at the footage he didn't take, the notes he did. The story will spread, he knows that. But the truth of it, the weight of it, will never fit inside a screen. Out there in the wild, something happened, something primal, something sacred, and for a moment across species, instincts, and lifetimes, the jungle made room for love. Some stories leave you speechless. This one leaves you changed. In the heart of the wild, a gorilla, a creature feared and misunderstood, chose compassion over instinct. A lion cub, alone, fragile, voiceless, found shelter in the arms of a guardian no one expected. And a human, silent, watching, discovered that the deepest truths aren't always captured in film, but in feeling. If this story moved you, share it. Let others see what we often miss, that love, protection, and sacrifice aren't limited by species. They belong to all who feel. Like this video if you believe animals understand more than we give them credit for. Comment your thoughts. Would you have stepped in like Jake or stayed hidden? Subscribe for more stories that challenge what we think we know. Because sometimes, nature teaches us what it means to be human.